What's up, everyone? It's CTD from C2 Wrestling, and I just want to give you guys a heads up before we get into this video. We will be live with our live reactions to Saturday night's main evented by Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Come hang out with us right here on our YouTube channel. We will have our live reactions. We will be talking wrestling. We're going to have a great time. Hang out with the boys. Watch us be upset or love the outcomes. It'll be a great time. We hope to see you there. But now, let's get into the video.
C2 Wrestling coming at you guys again, this time with a little bit of a different video. We got a weekly podcast. We got pretty ritual Monday Night Raw reviews, Friday Night SmackDown reviews. We're hitting all the PLEs, all the pay-per-views. But today, we're coming out with you a little bit of a video.
Let me press one for English real quick.
No habla inglés. A little bit of a video about Cody Rhodes and his potential WrestleMania matchup. On paper, if you would have asked me this a year ago, I would have told you one name. Leading into Mania now, the rumor mill is circling a little bit. There's 2, 3, 4, 5 names we have come up with at C2 Wrestling. 5 names that could be potential suitors to face Cody Rhodes, not only at WrestleMania, but for the WWE Championship. Starting off the top with the most notable name, Roman Reigns. A three-peat, 3 WrestleManias in a row, 39, 40, 41. I don't want it. I'm going to start with that, but that is a possibility. It is very much possible that Roman maybe wins the Rumble. I don't think Roman's winning the Chamber, but he has a shot to win that Rumble and go on to face Cody for the belt again. What do you think about Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 41?
Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns will main event another WrestleMania against each other at some
Yes.
point.
Yes.
I don't know if it's going to be this year. I wouldn't be shocked if it was this year. But that is, as clear cut, the two biggest stars. There's a lot of stars that they have right now. But that trilogy, there's just no way. And look, I don't want to use the term already, but with how they do the long-term booking, that is like the easiest long-term booking thing. They ain't leaving at 1-1. These are two guys in their prime. This isn't Rock Cena where it's like, oh, you don't really know how much you're going to get of them, whatever.
Mm.
This is clearly going to happen at some WrestleMania again. The question is it this WrestleMania?
Absolutely. They've still been kind of teasing Cody Roman tension, even despite them teaming up recently. They had a little bit of a showdown in Georgia. That was a great segment over the year within wrestling. There clearly is tension between them. Roman still wants his belt back. Cody thinks he could do it again, beat Roman again. They absolutely run that back match eventually. Wow, I can't speak tonight. They run that match back eventually. Mania 41. I don't know if that fits the bill, considering there's other names that might face Cody Rhodes this year. Roman, Cody, it's been a great story. It will continue. I don't need it as much as I need some of these other names to face Cody Rhodes right now.
And we also have the different aspect of it now. Cody's the champion.
Yep.
Roman's the challenger.
Mm-hmm.
The first 2 times, obviously, Roman was the challenger. Or Roman was the champion. Cody was the challenger. This is the new twist to it. Who knows? If it doesn't happen at this Mania, say it happens 2 or 3 Manias from now. Cody could be heel at that point. Like, you don't know what aspect it'll be. We just know no matter what the matchup story is, it'll be pretty different compared to the first 2 because the first 2 were so strong of a Cody chase that we got that moment now. We got him finishing his story. They will face a 3rd time. It will happen. Is it this year's Mania? If I'm a betting man, I would bet no.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it didn't seem like it was going to happen last year. And it still did.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm sure you can find some text between us two of me also shaking my boots a little bit that Roman Cody wasn't going to happen last year. But deep down, I still had that gut feeling. There's no way they're changing it. There's no way they don't do Cody Roman at Mania 40. And in the long run, they did it. They did Cody Roman at Mania 40. Mania 41. If it's not Roman Reigns, maybe it's another Samoan. Maybe it's The Rock this year.
Yeah, and look, that's the perfect number two. He might even be the number one for potential opponents.
Yeah.
But once again, the same as last year when he came back before the Rumble, it's right back into that unknown aspect of, is he even going to be available? Will The Rock even work Mania? Does his schedule make sense? Before you had him denying it in Instagram comments. Now you're getting reports from Fightful that they're actually looking at not, what if he's not available, the plan's there and being able to change if he is. I'll be honest, as much as I want to see the Rock and Cody payoff, I don't love that it's like, all right, the Mania plans will teeter on if the Rock's available and they're just going to have to pivot at some point. Granted, when they pivot, it normally ends up being better than their original plans anyway. But that feels like the obvious one. It's again files under the Roman Cody. It's going to happen at some point. Just does it happen at this Mania?
When it comes to Rock Cody, arguably it is the match I would want the most for Cody, to be honest. Them pivoting off of Rock Cody, let's say Rock can't do it, his schedule's tight. Listen, it's not plan B has been better than plan A in the long run of things many times in wrestling. But plan B is plan B for a reason, usually. Plan A is the better idea, you would think. So I hate the thought of them maybe going to plan B. Personally, in the last year or two of wrestling, not that the dirt sheets have been inaccurate, but they've been less accurate. Fightful, Sean Ross Sapp, all those guys over there. It's the most reputable wrestling reporting out there. If you're watching or listening to any reporters other than Sean Ross Sapp, it's fake news, guys. It's fake news. Even though this came from Fightful, even though it came from Sean Ross Sapp, I don't know if I believe this one. If I were a betting man, I would say The Rock is at WrestleMania. Now, you date back to Bad Blood. The Rock showed up. There's rumors going around right now that they had no plan, didn't mean anything. It was just to get Rock on TV. I don't think Rock would have done it if Rock didn't think he was going to be at Mania. Did something pop up in his schedule from Bad Blood till now? Maybe it did. But Rock, he's got stake in this company now. I really think he has a lot of focus here. I think he wants it. I think that's the biggest mention is that The Rock wants to do this. It really seems like he had a blast doing it last year. The story is not done. I think Rock comes back and very well gets Cody this year.
I think the reporting of it probably falls pretty similar to what happened with Punk, and that the report from Fightful isn't wrong. It is
Yeah.
what the sources are telling them.
Yes.
They
Yep.
are reporting it correctly. It's just maybe WWE's withholding information. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
WWE's not giving correct information. Maybe WWE knows there's a strong chance there could be a change. Maybe this is the classic, like, you put it out now, to weather the storm. And if it happens, great. If not, they already knew about it. I think the report probably is right,
Mm-hmm.
but it is more so, does it mean it actually happens?
Yeah.
Again, with the CM Punk timeline, like, what they were reporting was right, but plans change, things change, and if something big changes in WWE, the hope is they're not running to these reporters to spoil it,
Yeah.
and let everyone know. They want to keep it to themselves and keep it in house and have the moment for the fans. So
Yeah.
yes, I if I had to bet, I would bet Cody versus The Rock is the WrestleMania match in some shape or form, whether it's a triple threat or one on one. I know our buddy Ryan has thrown out The Rock wrestling at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't feel impossible. I mean, it's a
I don't hate
two-night
it.
SummerSlam. Look, I love it because I'll be there. I
Yeah.
just
Will be there. Thank you for including me.
I didn't say I was going with you.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
C1 wrestling. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See you later, wrestling. Um, I think it kind of falls a little bit similar to, not to that level, but the possibility of The Rock being at Elimination Chamber. Like,
Yeah.
yes, it's not impossible, and I know SummerSlam is much bigger than the Elimination Chamber, but it goes to like the come on, you thought The Rock was going to wrestle and it wasn't going to be on WrestleMania? Like that's
Mhm.
he's only got so many matches. They're going to happen at Mania.
I agree. And I did just go on record and say, if I want Cody in anything this year, I do think Rock Cody makes the most sense for Mania 41. If it's not going to be Rock, my personal number two, and I say number two, but it flip flops with The Rock, the Viper, Randy Orton against Cody Rhodes for the championship at Mania 41. That has WrestleMania written all over it. Cody versus Orton for the championship. Typically speaking, you would think the title would be on Orton. Cody would be the chaser in this kind of situation, but it works either way. This triangle between Owens, Cody, Orton. Orton's still out right now, has not quite come back yet. It's evident. This has been the story for a while now. Orton eventually is going to turn. He's eventually going to go heel. When? That's the big question is when. If you're not going to do Orton Cody at Mania 41, maybe you don't turn Orton heel yet. Maybe he takes on a heel Owens at Mania instead. I know there's some, rumors of Sammy Owens going down at Mania too, which I would prefer as well. But why turn Orton heel if you're not going to have him face Cody at Mania? I think that might be the biggest sign when that happens, if it happens to what we are getting at WrestleMania. If Orton turns on Cody on January 6th, Netflix Raw, if he pops Cody with an RKO, they got plans in motion, in my opinion. If he doesn't, if he helps Cody beat Owens, all right, maybe there's a different ship they're steering here. Orton Cody, though, that is a feud that if it's not Mania 41, if it's not SummerSlam this year, Bad Blood next year, whatever, it's somewhere. It's happening eventually.
That feels like a 6 month feud
At
whenever
minimum.
whenever it happens. Because I just start kind of thinking about it. I think that's like there's a great chance that could be where Cody loses the title and wins it back.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And I actually meant to say that if Cody's going to ever lose this belt, I really think Orton is probably the number one person to take it.
Yeah, and I could see like it wouldn't be a 1 month title reign, but you know, Cody drops it to Orton and maybe Orton's heel turn. You have this full like there's so much to that story
Yep.
that's like, all right, you have the WWE title, you have the potential Randy turning on Cody, but then you also have like the former protege aspect. You have the history between them. They've faced at WrestleMania before. There's so much to it that
Yep.
it's like there's no way that feels like a rivalry that probably ends in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, yeah, I could definitely see that. If not a Hell in a Cell, that's a match that is or a rivalry that ends in a last man standing match, something along those lines, some sort of like feud ender.
Hmm.
Or in Cody again, guaranteed match, guaranteed rivalry for 6 months, however long. That showcases a big four at a minimum. That is the main event of a Mania, a SummerSlam, a Rumble, a Survivor Series. Money in the Bank's kind of a big four, but you usually get a ladder match ending the show. So, I don't know if it hits that card, but they're definitely lining that up to fall in line with one of those bigger shows.
Yeah, so I completely agree. That is a rivalry. A I the term story and the word story is just going to be overused, but I'll keep saying it.
Yeah, especially
That
with
is,
Cody.
yeah, exactly. That is a story that we all are excited for, we're all ready for, and we know it's coming at some point. Similar to Rock versus Cody, similar to Roman versus Cody. We know that's going to happen at some point. The next two that we have, those aren't really like guarantees like these three are.
Yeah. These next two, just to say briefly, these would be the plan Bs. This would be the Rock can't make it. Maybe knock on wood, you never want an injury. It won't be the first time someone's gotten injured going into a big mania, a big show. So, barring none of those things happen, these things maybe don't. But it has been even in the rumor mill. Cody Rhodes himself said they're going a route no one's expecting this mania. Whether that's true or not, we're going to find out in due time. But we're going to drop a name: John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. If you're going to have a retirement run for John Cena, a 1 year run, 30, 40, 50 dates, however many it is, hell, it could be 5 matches within that year span. One of those matches has got to be Cody Rhodes. Do you book it for WrestleMania? Is that really your biggest possible match? Cody's not a heel. Cena ain't going to be a heel. Face versus face, I don't know if it works too well. It would sell matches or tickets rather, but I think there's other matches that fit the bill a little bit more. I wouldn't hate it though. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't hate it.
I'm on record saying I think Cody will team with Cena during this final run, and we'll have a tag match of the former face and the current face
Mm-hmm.
teaming against two heels, you know, A and B, whoever that may be at that point. But that's not an impossible thing. Like, I don't want people to think that that's our prediction that's going to
No.
happen. But if you told me it's WrestleMania 41, say Cena wins the Rumble or whatever, however it happens. If you told me their plan was Cena's chasing number 17 and he wants to take on Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, the new face of the company, to, it obviously puts Cody even more over the edge as if he's not already super over. That's not surprising at all. And that's also not impossible. Like, I know it's not the betting favorite, but that is not something that is far fetched at all.
Yeah. Just to repeat again, it's not likely, but it's not impossible. I could see Cena fitting the bill somewhere. He's going to be on the card. He's going to be at Mania. There's 15 matches maybe between two shows. You can probably already take 5 or 6 of those out that Cena would never be involved in. Who does Cena face at Mania is maybe the alternative question. Gunther, Orton, Cody, Punk. Those are maybe your 4 names for Cena at his last WrestleMania. I don't know if Cody's the one they go with there, but I can't say no to it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's going to be something big. Cody has said, we don't know. Like, these aren't, the most obvious WrestleManias. We think we know. We're in for a loop. We're in for a surprise. The first two or the first three kind of feel like they're very likely to be one of the matches. Our number four, less likely. Number five, I would have said was the least likely until we got the promo on Monday, which
Mm-hmm.
makes me feel it's not impossible. But you and I have been on the same kind of direction on what this person's WrestleMania match will be, but we can't rule out CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes.
Cannot rule it out. That is another guy where maybe the alternative question is who does CM Punk face at WrestleMania? But it's maybe the same list of guys that John Cena could face at Mania. There's only a few names. You add Rollins in there is obviously the number one for Punk, but maybe they don't run that at Mania. Maybe they run that at the Rumble. That feud is already kind of in motion. So how do you stretch that one-on-one match to Mania? Maybe they run a three-peat like they did with Punk Drew, and we get the Rumble, we get it at the Chamber, and we get it at Mania between Punk and Rollins. If not Rollins, the other name for Punk for me is Cody, to be honest. Barring all injuries again, would hate that this could happen. It almost happened last year. Let's say Rollins goes down this year. Can't do Mania. That's what you substitute Punk for. I would imagine. Is that what they would do? I don't think so. I think they would maybe fill in Cena there and they would run Punk Cena back, in all honesty. But if it were up to me, that's my number two probably for Cody. Orton is always there too. Like Orton and Punk, it's up in the air who I would really rather it go down to. There's a lot of options here. These are 5 guys that, like, honestly, didn't go any route. And yeah, maybe plan A is better than plan C. Hindsight's always 2020. We don't know what doesn't happen. We're only going to get what we get. So if we get something great, I got nothing to complain about. Any of these 5 people could really fit the bill. CM Punk versus Cody is another match that if it's not Mania 41, if it's not Backlash or SummerSlam or Bad Blood or the Rumble, it's somewhere. It's going to happen.
Also, all five of those matches are very credible Mania main events.
Absolutely. Yeah. Those are selling
Yeah.
tickets. Those are putting asses in seats no matter what.
You might argue one is more of a night one compared to another being a night two main event. Either way, those are five legit Mania main events that are possible.
Hmm.
And I think the answer is somewhere in there. I think it's one of those five. I'd be shocked if it wasn't, because then
Yeah.
they've really gone left field for Cody Rhodes and Mania. But that feels like the legit five. But Snowden, I'm wondering, what do the people think? Because that's what we think. What do the
Yeah. That
people think?
that is what we think. And I'll tell you what, we think a lot. We're telling you guys our thoughts every week. So we want you guys to tell us what you think. Go down below, comment on the video. Who do you think gets Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania? I'll hit you with another question. Who do you think wins the Royal Rumble? That could help lead into the answer to this question. I'll tell you what, the two names we just mentioned, Cena and Punk, might have the most likelihood to win the Rumble. It's only a 50-50 chance on who they choose then, Gunther or Cody. So we'll see where they're going. But where we're going this Saturday is right back here. We're going to be live streaming Saturday night's main event. Come find us. Come hang out. Comment down below again, guys. Subscribe so you got notifications. This has been a lot of fun. We'll see you guys soon.